Alright there folks, welcome to another Match Fishing Adventures, and today I'm doing a little recce of the Railway Pond in York. Now, a few people have asked me about it, and I thought rather than waffle on during a fishing video, I'll have a good walk around the pond, show you the pegs, how to get there, and this is the video basically. So what you're looking for in York is Tadcaster Road, which runs alongside of the race course. You travel up there, and then you're looking for Nelson's Lane, basically, and you drive down there and you'll find a little car park on the left hand side opposite a little play area, okay, and that is the best place to park. There is another access point which I'll show you a little bit later on, but for now we're going to park up in that little car park and we're going to go and have a look around the pond.
The York Railway Pond. So there we go. Come down, and the first peg you're greeted with is this nice big double peg here. This is peg 17 and 18, okay. Not really if you can see that with the light and stuff, but I'm going to turn. Just going to go and have a wander. We'll start off on peg 1, which is over there, and then we'll have a walk round pond. Right then, so we've just walked around from there, that's where we've come down, just walked along that little bank there, around the track, and we're in peg 1. And these pegs here tend to be the fishiest. It's the shallowest part of this, okay. It's an old clay pit or brick pond or something like that. They used to dig out all the clay and make bricks with it and stuff, so it is massively deep in areas. I mean, we're talking like 14, 15 foot at its deepest, but that can be right close to the bank. So if you're going to come and do a session, you want to be looking at this top end of the lake ideally. So the peg 18, 19, 20, 21, peg 1, this area is always good because it's a little bit shallower than the rest, but if you like fishing in deep water, then it's definitely a place to go. The reason that I love it down here is that it's not stuffed full of carp. There's a few carp in here, but they're not like your normal stupid commercial carp that'll eat anything. There's that much natural food in here that they're really difficult to catch basically. So for me, it's silvers only on here. It's rammed full of silvers, and I've had some absolutely fantastic days down here. As you've seen from the other videos that I've done, today I'm not fishing. It's Tuesday, 2nd of November. I'm planning on doing a session because the Winter League on here starts this Sunday coming, and I'm going for it basically. I've done a ton of prep and everything like that, so I will be down here probably Thursday or Friday for a bit of a cheeky practice. I don't know whether I'll film that or not, we'll see. But yeah, and I mean the colour's dropped out of it already, but I don't know if you can see, there's in the lilies there, in the pads there's a few fish cruising. So I don't know if they're looking for bits of natural bait in there, or they're just, it's warmer in there. It's going to be a bit warmer in it because the temperature's really been dropping down, so we'll have to see. But yeah, with it being Tuesday, there is a work party down here, so it can get noisy. The only other thing that I don't like about this pond is the track. I mean, we're on the peg now, look. This is your peg basically. That's the track, that is a bit of wasteland, and then that's someone's garden. And this is a busy little pond, so if you want to come down and fish a pole, you've got to bear in mind that your track is probably 2.5 metres from edge of water to the track, and it's a narrow track, so you've got to think about your roller placement and also people coming past, how many times you want to break your pole down and stuff. But it's a fantastic venue for the waggler as well, so that is always worth bearing in mind. But I'm going to go and do a circuit of the pond, show you the rest of the pegs. As you can see, there's no one fishing at all today, and it's crazy because it's a brilliant little place. Ticket wise, it's a £5 for the day, and considering how good it looks and the amount of silvers in here, for a £5 you can't get better value than that, I don't think. It's well looked after. As you can see, there's probably what, 7 or 8 people down here at work party today, and it looks immaculate. It's well looked after. All the pegs are brilliant. Let's go for a walk. Again, another nice double peg here. Plenty of room. Plenty of wildlife as well, and nature. It's, you know, little fish just top down there. Now this is a good peg. I like this peg. This is peg 4 because it is quite deep, but it's brilliant for the waggler. Because in summer, when it's a bit warmer, or when the sun's on the water, it hits this peg first. So if you want to fish a waggler, fish shallow, fish maybe 2.5, 3 foot deep, and just fire out some maggots or casters, you'll get a rudd or a roach or chuck. And it's crazy because it's so clear. As soon as the sun comes on it this afternoon, it's going to warm up, and you'll see them. Get your Polaroids on and just go and scope them out. A lot of the carp guys tend to fish these pegs that I'm about to take you to now, and they'll chuck across to that little island, and that's because this sort of area down this bottom end is the deepest part. But yeah, so that's peg 4. But look how well maintained all this is. Like, loads of flowers planted, all the boards are in. Look, it's fantastic. But yeah, this tends to be the colder end of the pond, and again, it's one of those where people will come down and feed the ducks a lot, and it is one of those things. I've been down here before and fished bread, and it's been quite good, but it is hit and miss on here. I've tried bread in a little cage feeder one time in that match with John. If you've not seen that, the link's above. He beat me, but you know, I'm going to get revenge this year because he's going to do some matches down here as well. So that was another bit of motivation to come down, and I want my pound back basically. But yeah, so here we are, peg 7, and this is a really, really deep area. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fish this peg, to be fair, and it just drops off into oblivion, so I tend to avoid this area if I can. If it's dead busy, you don't have a choice. It's one of those things, but there tends to be always a free peg, and we're coming in now. The water hens are picking up all the leaves and little branches and stuff for the nesting over winter. But yeah, so we're down round now at peg 9, and if you remember from the other car park, I said there is another place to park, which is here. So I'm going to show you that quickly now. I don't know the name of the road, but I'll bring it up on a map now so you can have a look. And as you can see, this is where a few people do park, which is just here basically. It's a little housing estate down the road, but there we go. Again, another notice board just showing you what's going on at the pond, what's happening, what's going to be happening in the future, all sorts of stuff like that. All the info's there. And again, the second entrance, there we go. But this is what I'm talking about with the steps. If you've got a trolley full of tackle, it's going to be quite tricky to bring it down, and these steps, so something to bear in mind really. But yeah, so this is where you'd come anyway, and your first peg would be peg 9 just down here. But as I say, if you've got any amount of gear or a barrow, you're best off parking at the far side and using that one really. But yeah, here we are. I'm just moving around now into pegs 10 and 11, and this is a nice big double peg. Whenever I come down and there's carp guys here, they always seem to be in this peg, so I don't know if this is a carpy peg or not, but again, it's one I've never fished. I always, as I say, I tend to go over on the far bank where the sun hits so I can target those roach and stuff. But yeah, might give it a go one day down here, you never know. I did fish the peg next door once and blanked in spectacular fashion. It was just totally rubbish really. Oh, that's fishing, innit? It's the way it goes. But yeah, and there's plenty of room up above as well for casting. There's loads of branches and trees, but they are well looked after, and there's always space to chuck a rod for a waggler or a feeder, to be fair. So yeah, so we're going to move down. The pegs at this far bank here, this side, moving on up, up to 12, up to pegs 16 or 17 I think. They've got a bit more room behind them, so it's a bit easier for shipping a pole in and out. So again, something else to think about if you are venturing up here for a day's fishing. And to be fair, it's a great place just to come and have a walk and, as I say, feed some ducks with kids and enjoy it. And loads of dog walkers come up here as well. So yeah, I'm not going to go in there because the ducks are there and they're feeling a bit frisky, I think. Don't want to get molested by ducks, do we? So yeah, there we go. So that could be a double peg there. And then we're on to this one. Okay, this is peg 13. I have fished peg 13 and I have had some massive perch out of here. It's funny, some days you can only catch a certain species of fish in a certain peg. I don't know what happens the rest of the time. Do they spread out or what? I don't really know, but yeah, so as you can see, it's a beautiful peg. Again, just tons of open water, and again, when I've said before on open water, you've got to look for the features on the bottom, and again, this is quite a deep peg. If I remember, it was about 11 foot or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but something to think about. But again, if you're fishing in 11 foot, it doesn't mean the fish are going to be at 11 foot. They could be anywhere up to 2-3 foot in that water column. So again, just think about your approach and what it is you're doing, and if you're fishing a pole, just look for those line bites and indications on the float, and if you're not getting positive bites, then shallow up and you'll eventually find fish. So yeah, I'm going to keep on walking round, and then I'm going to sit and chill out for half an hour, I think. Yeah, there we go, back on the peg. They're all in pretty much casting distance of the island as well. I mean, there's always plenty of gear stuck in trees on there, but see the odd fish topping around there. It is a good little peg as well, this, because it is an easy chuck to island, and there's always the rogue carp swimming around there, just to tease you a little bit. So it's worth thinking about, definitely. As I said, you've got plenty of room as well at the back of the peg for shipping your pole in and out. Okay, I mean, edge of your platform's there, and you've got a good probably 10 metres to ship back if you were fishing a pole. So again, you don't necessarily need to worry too much about your pole roller placement. Just focus on your fishing. I don't know if you can see these on camera, but there seems to be a little shoal of rudd around there, just topping and showing. So yeah, if you set up a waggler rod to target those rods, you can always catch 3 or 4 extra bonus fish that you wouldn't reach with a pole. So it just gives you an extra option to catch those fish. And I love catching rudd, to be fair. I don't think there's a prettier fish out there. But yeah, there's still plenty showing over there. So I'm going to show you the last few pegs, and then we'll see. So this is the last peg coming down this side, and it is peg 16, and it is a nice little peg. You've got some open water, you've just got to be careful of whoever's in that peg there, but it is a nice peg, and it is nice in that corner. It was very, very fishy. There used to be a load of tension there when I used to fish it as a young lad, but that's going back quite a while. But again, plenty of room behind you for a pole, plenty of room above you for casting that rod in. So yeah, well worth a visit. So there we go. Right then, we're back round, and this is peg 19 now, and this is one of my favourite little pegs, to be fair. You've normally got a few lily pads there, there's still a few there dying back, got the aerator there, and obviously the island, and there tends to be a shoal of rudd that'll always patrol in this little area. Again, it does go quite deep. It can be, I think it's about 5 or 6 foot at full pull range, but I tend to fish probably 6 or 8 metres out and just see. Normally just have 2 or 3 lines and just rotate them all. But again, there's plenty of room above for casting. But yeah, so that's peg 19. We'll go around, check out the others. Into 20, and obviously you've got the other side of this lily bed here, and a big lily bed in here, and there's normally stacks and stacks of fish in there. There's tons of fish topping just over there, little fry by the look of it. But yeah, these pegs always tend to produce the fish, so these do get fished quite a lot, to be fair. But if there's fish here, why wouldn't you fish them? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just simple tactics work. Pinkett, maggot, caster, hemp, bread occasionally. Yeah, so there we go. So we'll nip up to the last peg, and I'll show you that. That'll be peg 21, and we'll see. Go. So this is the last peg, okay? This is peg 21, and it's been kind of nicknamed Carp Corner, because the carp do show up in this. I mean, it's a massive lily bed, and the carp all seem to show up in there at certain times of year. They come in here for spawning. So it has been named Carp Corner. This and peg 1 always get the carp down here at certain times of year, and then they move off into the deeper water and stuff. But again, you've got this edge of the massive lily bed in here that goes all in there, and again all this way. So it's a beautiful little peg, to be fair, and it shells off nice and slowly as well. So it's a good gradient to fish on. And keep in contact with fish, but yeah. So yeah, there we go. That is the York Railway Pond. Okay. Now, for those that are interested, there is a Winter League starting on here this weekend coming, this Sunday, which is the 7th, and it's 8 matches that will go all the way through to February. There's 2 a month, and it's basically a tenner to enter, and you do fish 8 matches and it's your best 5 or 6 results go through, and whoever's got the most points at the end wins, basically. And it is a notoriously tough pond to crack. As you've seen on some of my videos, some days I've got it absolutely spot on and I've done really well. Others has just been a nightmare and scratching around for bites. But you know, that's fishing, and that's what makes it interesting. And with it being a silvers dominated venue, it's perfect for winter. As you know, I love catching roach and rudd on the pole and stuff, and just using lighter tackle and more delicate baits and stuff. So There's going to be a full set of those coming over winter. As I say, there's 8 matches to do in total. I'm going to be doing some cheeky practice sessions up here as well, in and amongst all the other stuff that's going on. So if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below as well. Any other venues you'd want me to go and have a walk around and scope out for you, just let me know. And yeah, stay safe and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.